This is Vlogmas day 22. It's the one with the Christmas cookies. If you'd like to see what my favorite Christmas cookies are, be sure to watch this video. Hi, my name is Patty. Thanks for clicking on my channel, Winning at Weight Loss. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today, we're not doing a what I eat in a day. We are doing how many cookies did I bake for Christmas? 5 batches. They're not Weight Watcher friendly, but I want to share them with you because they're everybody's favorite for Christmas and they're kind of a tradition. So come on along and spend the day with me baking cookies. This recipe is for anise cookies. And first we're going to use 3 cups of flour. So I'm going to put the flour in a separate bowl. 2 and 3. And I'm using 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And 3 teaspoons of baking powder is the same as 1 tablespoon, and this is a half a tablespoon. I'm going to mix that up with a fork, just so the baking powder gets combined with the flour. And I'll set that aside. Then I'll take a bigger bowl, and it calls for 1/2 cup of butter, which is going to be 1 stick, which I have softened. 1/2 cup of sugar, and I cream that together. Then I will add 3 eggs, 2 teaspoons of anise extract. If you don't like the taste of anise, you can add vanilla instead. Then I'm going to mix all this together. Then I'll add the flour mixture. I've never had a mixer, a KitchenAid or anything like that, so I always mix by hand. Unless I have a cake batter, then I'll use a hand mixer. And there's the dough all combined, and I will form it into cookies and bake it in the oven. I'll show you that next. Okay, I did about 1-inch balls for the Italian anise cookies, and I'm going to bake them in the oven at 350 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, for the frosting, I used 2 cups of powdered sugar with 4 to 5 tablespoons of milk, and then I will dip each cookie in it, and then I'll sprinkle it with some candy sprinkles. So I go like this, and then I set it on parchment paper so it runs down. And then what I do is sprinkle candy sprinkles on top of each cookie, and the glaze will harden and give a sweetness to the cookie, and I'll be doing that to all the cookies. There's the cookies. They're all completed. I'll wait until the frosting hardens, and then I will put them on a tray. Anise cookies, or the Italian cookies. This recipe is for butter balls or snowballs, whatever you call them. But this calls for a cup of butter, so that's 2 sticks. And then a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon measurement. And a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. And once again, I'll mix these together by hand. And once that's creamed together, we'll add the flour. Now I'm going to add 2 1/4 cups of flour that has been combined with 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then I'll add that to this mixture. Then I'm going to mix that up and add in a cup of walnuts that are chopped. I'm going to add 1 cup of chopped nuts, and I will mix that and refrigerate it and then bake it. These are the butter ball. I also make them in balls, probably about just a little bit under an inch, and they bake at 325 for 12 to 14 minutes. For the butter balls, I'm going to take the cookies after they cooled off, and I will roll them in powdered sugar so they look like a snowball. And there's a tray of snowball cookies. I will put the points on screen for each cookie. Probably won't be pretty though. For the peanut butter blossoms, I'm going to use 1 stick of butter, 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then I'm going to combine these together. Then in a separate bowl, I will combine 1 3/4 cups of flour with 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then I sift this together with a fork, and I will add it to the wet mixture. Then I combine the flour mixture, and I will mix that up until everything's combined. The peanut butter blossoms I roll in 1-inch balls, and then I roll them in sugar, and then I'll place them on the baking sheet. The peanut butter blossoms will bake for 10 minutes at 350 degrees, and they kind of flatten out, and then immediately you put a chocolate kiss inside of each one. Once the peanut butter blossoms come out of the oven, that's what they look like. And then I will put a Hershey's Kiss in each one. And normally I have these all peeled, but I'm kind of trying to do too many things at once here, so I will show it when it's all done. And there's the Hershey Kiss cookies, or peanut butter blossoms, whatever you choose to call. The peanut butter blossoms. This next recipe is for snickerdoodles. Uses 1/2 cup of butter, so that'll be 1 stick. I'm using salted butter. I use salted in all my recipes. Then 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1/3 a cup of light brown sugar that is packed. Now this recipe calls for light and fluffy, so I'm going to use a beater to cream it together. Well, let's see. This is why I don't like to use mixers, because now it's all creamed together but I'm going to add the egg now because it's pretty creamed together. 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And we'll try it again. So for the flour mixture, I use 1.5 cups of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and that's very important so the cookies get stiff. And then just a dash of salt because I'm using salted butter. Then I'll combine that together with a fork and add it to the liquid mixture. This is why I hate doing these, using mixers. The snickerdoodles, I put them in balls, and I will refrigerate them for about an hour, and then I will roll them in cinnamon and sugar. This is how I finish up the snickerdoodles. They've been refrigerated for a couple hours, and now I'm going to roll them in a cinnamon sugar mixture and then press it down a little bit. You have to refrigerate the dough, otherwise the cookie will bake real flat. And you can add more cinnamon if you like, but it's coated, and then I'll put it on a cookie sheet that I sprayed. The recipe called for 2-inch pieces. I made them a little smaller. I'll just bake them for less time. I press the cookies down a little bit with a cup, at the bottom of a cup. Now they're going to go in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. There is the snickerdoodle cookies. One got some red sugar on it, but those are really good. This recipe is for pecan tarts, and I'm starting with half a cup or 1 stick of margarine, and then I'm adding 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. And I'll cream those together. Then I'm going to add 1 cup of flour, and this is the crust for the pecan tarts. And I use one of these little muffin tins, and I'll spray each one. What I do is I make a little cup on each one. I'll press on the side. This is the hardest part about this recipe, is making all the cups, because the filling is real easy. And I will do that next. So I'm going to finish doing these cups. There's all the cups. They're all done. And now I'm going to fill them with the pecan filling, and then I will bake them. The filling is for the pecan tarts. I melted 1 tablespoon of butter. Add 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. 1 egg. And then half a cup of chopped pecans. And you just mix them up and fill up the muffins that I put with the dough. I did not bake them first, so I put about a teaspoon in each one. These will bake at 325 for about 30 minutes. Pecan tarts, always a favorite Christmas cookie. There is the snickerdoodles, what's left of them. Somebody got into them, and it wasn't me. There is the tray of pecan tarts. Tray of anise cookies, or the Italian cookies. The peanut butter blossoms. And the butter balls. So those are my cookies for Christmas 2021. Not Weight Watcher friendly. So my Christmas cookie baking is done for this year. Comment below on what your favorite Christmas cookie is, or if you're going to make any of the ones that I provided with you. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified of every time I upload a new video. Remember, we're here to eat healthy, not cookies. Get fit and be well. This is Patty, and I'm winning at weight loss. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.